Conference of Speakers dismisses summons of Benue Zamfara speakers, calls it constitutional overreach. Federal government plans repatriation of 15,000 Nigerians stranded abroad. Plus, Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board withholds 39,834 results of candidates over examination malpractices. Do you love and care about Rivers State and her peace? Let's build and take her to greater heights. It is a task we must accomplish. This is the World News. My name is Abubele Bara Parker. Welcome. Chairperson, Nigeria Association of Women Journalists, Rivers State Chapter, Comrade Susan Serekara Mwikana, has been honored with an award of Advocacy Champion for accelerating the implementation of maternal newborn nutrition health innovations by the Medical Women's Association of Nigeria in Port Harcourt. Godspanele reports that many others were also honored for their contributions to the healthcare sector. The report.
Inaugurating the Advocacy Champions, National President of the Medical Women's Association of Nigeria, Professor Rosemary Ogu, said that the initiative aims to mobilize support from various stakeholders in raising awareness at several fora on the importance of ending the incessant deaths of mothers and children during birth. She charged the Advocacy Champions to use their 4-year tenure to assist in various ways, using the media, community tank criers, and other means of communication to accelerate the dissemination of information as well as the performance of medical personnel using available drugs and facilities as they solicit for government funding of healthcare facilities. President, Medical Women's Association of Nigeria, Rivers State, Dr. Cecilia Nwebubasa, said that the trend is moving across the country, preaching the need to save lives.
Is to say, please, you have been carefully selected and known because of your influence, because people listen to you. So we are asking you to please rise up at this time and ensure that no woman dies while giving birth. Help the communities, reach out to the communities, the people in the communities. They should use the health facilities. Help us to check the health facilities. Do they have all that they need to work? Help us to check the health facilities, the healthcare provider. Do they have all that they need? And then help us to whisper to government, to talk to government, to reach out to them. Budgetary allocations, budgetary needs must be made, and allocations must be released.
Because we want this advocacy, we want this awareness, we want anything that will reduce the maternal newborn death in our society to be curbed. So that is why we are involving everybody. All hands are on deck as we speak now, because we have already inaugurated the champions that will go into the society and talk on our behalf.
Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health, Rivers State, Dr. Comfort Igwe, and the Acting Executive Secretary of the Rivers State Contributory Health Protection Program, Dr. Veti Agala, enjoined the families to embrace the scheme and commended the Medical Association for the initiative to save lives.
This initiative aligned with our state commitment to improving health outcome and the advocacy, praying that God should continue to strengthen the organization.
So we are calling on Rivers people to say, as part of this innovation, to ensure that we advocate for more people to know about health insurance, for more women to get registered into the program, for women to not just do antenatal, but actually go to the facility and deliver, and their children being taken care of. And that's why I'm very excited that M1 is championing this project in Rivers State as one of the 16 states that are carrying out this project.
Expressing fulfillment over the honor done her by recognizing her individual and award efforts in advocacy campaigns on the rise of the girl child, lives of children during antenatal and prenatal cares, among others. She advised people to assist expectant mothers who are in difficult situations and added that the award will spur her to do more, and dedicated the award certificate to God, family, and award Rivers State.
For the next 4 years,
is, as we are inaugurated today, I want to thank M1 for thinking journalists in the state, because with your support and with the media support, we'll be able to do this.
God's Power Anele, Rstv News.
The Conference of Speakers, of State Legislatures of Assembly of Nigeria has condemned the House of Representatives Committee on Public Petitions summons of the speakers of Benue and Zamfara state houses of assembly. The conference viewed the summons as an unconstitutional overreach that undermines the autonomy of state legislatures. In a letter to the committee, conference chairman and speaker of the Oyo State House of Assembly, Adebo Ogundoni, argued that the National Assembly's oversight powers are limited to federal matters. He emphasized the constitutional independence of state legislatures and asserted that their presiding officers cannot be summoned over internal legislative issues unless a clear constitutional or federal matter is involved. The speakers of Benue and Zamfara have also objected to the summons on the grounds that the concerns raised are purely domestic and outside the National Assembly's jurisdiction. The conference cautioned against undermining the constitutional independence of state legislatures and warned of potential risks to democracy at the state level. It, however, called on the National Assembly to consider the separation of powers and mutual institutional respect, reaffirming its commitments to transparency, accountability, and the rule of law at all levels of government. The federal government says discussions are ongoing on how 15,000 Nigerians stand stranded in Cameroon, the Niger Republic, Chad, and other parts of the world will be returned to Nigeria in safety and dignity. Alhaji Tijani Ahmed, Federal Commissioner, National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons, disclosed this at a media briefing on Friday in Abuja. Ahmed revealed that about 6 million people are displaced within the country, while thousands of refugees are living elsewhere across the world. While reiterating the government's tireless efforts to ensure the safe return of the displaced person, Ahmed thanked President Bola Tinubu for the support given to the Commission and the Humanitarian Affairs Ministry. The National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons boss also disclosed that Nigeria would be hosting the first thematic meeting under its chairmanship of the Rabat process, with more than 100 delegates from 57 partner countries in attendance. The Federal Commissioner also outlined the challenges in managing migration, including the need for adequate advocacy to inform younger generations about legal migration pathways. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board on Friday announced the release of the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination results, with results of 39,834 candidates being withheld. Registrar of the board, Professor Ishak Oloyede, disclosed this on Friday during the official release of the 2025 UTME results at JAM headquarters, Buari. Oloyede revealed that the seizure of results was due to suspected examination malpractices and said that about 80 individuals are being probed for examination-related offenses, with Anambra State having the highest number of suspects. Do you love and care about Rivers State and her peace? Let's build and take her to greater heights. It is a task we must accomplish. Pope Leo conducts first mass, calling church a beacon to eliminate dark nights. And in sports, Nigeria's under-17 Flamingos to feature at National Sports Festival as IJAs. What that means and many other stories are coming if you keep us company when we return after these messages. Please stay with us.
Alright everyone, no put your ears, make we talk. Shout my team fresh now, but you know, I beg no be slow. Ever heard of Colgate, the #1 oral care brand in the world? For zero cavities and long-lasting fresh breath. Mom, it's your time to brush.
Omega Power Ministries, OPM Worldwide presents 7 Saturdays to get pregnant.
I married since 2015, no child. But God surprised me with triplets.
Are you seeking for the fruit of the womb? Do you have infertility issues? Do you have a low sperm count? Are the doctor's reports saying you can never get pregnant or father a child? Are your in-laws mocking you that their son married a man like him? Have you gone everywhere seeking for help with no solution? Are you tired of the insults, mockery, and shame of childlessness? Cry no more, for Dr. Jesus has remembered you. In this 7 weeks program titled 7 Saturdays to get pregnant, it will be hot, it will be explosive, and it will be powerful. Date: Saturday 10th May 2025, Saturday 17th May 2025, Saturday 24th May 2025, and Saturday 31st May 2025.
Time 8 in the morning.
Venue: OPM GRA 2, number 2 Greg Owehi Street, off Casablanca, New GRA, Port Harcourt. Every day holds a special and unique package for someone. Don't miss out.
OPM, Dr. Jesus in action. Dr. Jesus in action. God is here.
Hi. You don't know when you have bacteria breath, and bacteria may be the cause of it. Don't let bacteria breath get all the attention. Use Close-Up with antibacterial zinc. Close-Up helps get rid of bacteria breath.
Na for tete they don dey put spices inside food because of the aroma and better way e dey do for body. But una need plenty space to keep all your spices if you must to enjoy the better inside there. Now, Mr. Chef Mixed Spices Seasoning Cube don land with all your rich spices wey you love inside one cube. Mr. Chef Mixed Spices Seasoning Cube. Spice mix exactly the way you like am. Dey available for seasoning cube. Try am today.
Alright everyone, open your ears, make we talk. Shout my teeth fresh now, but you know, I beg no be slow. Ever heard of Colgate, the #1 oral care brand in the world? For zero cavities and long-lasting fresh breath. Mom, it's your time to brush. Mama and Papa buy up, use up and shine your smile. No more cover mouth.
This is Rstv World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. Rstv, Channel 22 Port Harcourt.
Joining us for more news. The new Pope, Leo XIV, has called in his first Mass at the Vatican for the Catholic Church to desperately counter a lack of faith. Speaking the day after he was elected as the 267th Pope and first U.S. leader of the Church, he warned that people were turning away from faith and instead to technology, money, success, power, or pleasure. In an unscripted introduction before the homily, Leo also called on church unity from his cardinals, telling them in America, accented English, I know I can rely on each and every one of you to walk with me. In his sermon on Friday, the new Pope said there were many settings where the Christian faith was considered absurd, with power, wealth, and technology dominating, but it was precisely there that missionary outreach was needed. Pope Leo XVI wore a white papal robe trimmed in gold as he addressed the seated cardinals in the Sistine Chapel, an event broadcast live by the Vatican administration. The ascension of Robert Francis Prevost has been celebrated by the world's 1.4 billion Catholics with joyous outbursts in his U.S. homeland and in Peru, where he served for 20 years. Leo said he had been elected to be a faithful administrator of a church that would act as a beacon that illuminates the dark nights of the world. And from the news, for instance, again, we got the story that the U.S. may be planning to deport migrants to Libya, and it has been met with consternation by rights groups. The Trump administration has continued to expand its efforts to remove migrants to third-party countries. Despite legal challenges on Wednesday, a U.S. judge ruled that migrants could not be deported without being given the opportunity to challenge it in court. Libya's rival governments have also both said they would refuse to accept the deportees, and the country's highly restrictive asylum procedures also raise questions about the deportees' status on arrival. Libya is a major transit hub for asylum seekers trying to reach Europe each year. Thousands attempt a dangerous Mediterranean crossing, and an estimated 800,000 migrants are currently in Libya, and their mistreatment has been widely documented. A United Nations-backed independent fact-finding mission in 2024 found evidence that crimes against humanity had been committed against migrants in Libya. Victims were subjected to enslavement, forced disappearance, torture, and murder, among other crimes, according to the investigation. Dead migrants have been found in mass graves across the country, while tens of thousands of others have drowned trying to escape Libya on smuggled boats. Let's take a look now at some sports stories. Flamingos. The Flamingos will feature at the 2024 National Sports Festival as part of the new group of invited junior athletes, IJA, introduced by the National Sports Commission. Young talents from across the country in various sporting disciplines will be featuring. The group, effectively serving as the 38th state at the festival, will make its debut at the Gateway 2024 Games, scheduled to begin on 16 May in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. More than 100 teenagers have been drafted into the IJA team, which will compete in 11 events, including athletics, football, table tennis, wrestling, swimming, badminton, weightlifting, tennis, para-athletics, and more. The selection, according to the NSC, was designed to match Nigeria's areas of competitive strength and serve as a platform for grooming future stars for national and international representation. Reports say that the Flamingos will represent the IJA in the women's football tournament and are expected to face elite opposition from across the federation. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Football Federation, NFF, has selected Remo Stars Stadium, Ikene, and Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Onikon, Lagos, as venues for the international friendly between the Super Falcons and the Indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon. The two friendlies will hold on Friday, 30 May, and Tuesday, 3 June, 2025, respectively. Justin Madugu's side are gearing up for the 2024 Women's Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. The friendlies will serve as a part of the team's preparation for the biennial competition. They are also expected to play more friendlies before the start of the WAFCON 2024 finals, which will be hosted by Morocco. Nigeria will face Botswana, Tunisia, and Algeria in Group D. The Super Falcons were last in action against the Les Bleus of France in December 2024. Still talking sports, Mohamed Salah has won the Football Writers Association Player of the Year award for the third time on Friday, after inspiring Liverpool's march to a record-equaling 20th English title. Salah earned the prize after scoring 28 goals and producing 18 assists for Liverpool in the Premier League this season. The Egypt forward broke the record for the most goal involvements in a 38-game Premier League campaign as Arne-Slot's side romped to their first title since 2020. Salah secured almost 90% of the Football Writers' votes, marking the biggest winning margin this century. Liverpool centre-back Virgil van Dijk came second in the contest, with Newcastle striker Alexander Isak in the third place and Arsenal midfielder Declan Rice in the fourth. Salah, who had previously won the award in 2017 and 18 and 2021 and 22, is now level with former Arsenal forward Thierry Henry as the only players to win it in 3 times. Also, Alessia Russo became the second Arsenal player to land the Women's Award as the striker finished ahead of last year's winner, Khadija Shaw. That brings us to the conclusion of tonight's bulletin. Do you love and care about Rivers State and her peace? Let's build and take her to greater heights. It is a task we must accomplish. To end the news now, another look at some of our major reports. The Conference of Speakers has dismissed the summons of the speakers of Benue and Zamfara States Houses of Assembly, calling it an unconstitutional overreach and cautioned against undermining the constitutional independence of the state houses of assembly. The federal government has said that discussions are ongoing on how 15,000 Nigerians stranded in Cameroon, the Niger Republic, Chad, and other parts of the world will be returned to the country in safety and dignity, and revealed that about 6 million people are displaced within the country, while thousands of refugees are living elsewhere across the world. We had also informed you that the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board had on Friday announced the release of the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination results, with results of 39,834 candidates being withheld, adding that the seizure of results was due to suspected examination malpractices. That's it from the news desk for tonight. Thanks for being a part of it. Good night.
The Rivers State Police Command has declared the following persons missing: Delight Ikechukwu, female aged 5, and Divine Ikechukwu, female aged 3. They are native of Ezihini Itimbise local government area of Imo State, but resident